when I was younger, we lived in an apartment building. Next door was like this Mercedes Benz. They buffed cars and whatnot. And one time, one of the guys was telling us to come into come and help him move the cars and clean them out. So there was my two friends and my brothers. So it was four of us together. Went next door. We're like, man, we're gonna. He was like, I'll give you guys some money. You guys, so of course, So we ended up moving. We were driving cars at 9 years old. Moving a Mercedes Benz and parking them real close together and all that. And I remember we made like $5 that day, and to us it was like $1 million. So I remember my friends were like, "Oh, we're gonna go to this candy store." Of course, it was down the street. So they ended up going there. And I went upstairs to go wash I remember I went to go wash my hands and wash my face. And when I went upstairs, I went to go into the kitchen. There was no milk and no bread. And I was like, I felt bad. And I was like, wow, how are we gonna make this happen? So of course, with my $5, I went to the store. And I remember the whole walk crying back home. And I went back upstairs, and my mom was like, where'd you get this stuff? She thought I stole it. And I told her what happened, and then she started getting emotionally wrecked. Ever since that day, me and my mom had we were like Batman and Robin, or like, you know what I mean? It was like the best. She knew then that I knew what the father figure was gonna be. And to this day, my sister considers me her father. I personally think, my personal opinion, is that my pop needed this. He needed this rehabilitation. He needed it. And I think that in many ways, I could thank this guy. Of point of strung out on drugs, could have killed. My father probably could have died being so strung out and hung out with drugs and gangs and stuff. And I think now he came forward now because I think God personally told that guy, it's time now. He's done his time already. And I think he's done it. So in many ways, I do thank him from both sides, from then and now. It wasn't his fault. It's not his fault. He was 12 years old. I think it's the cop's fault. I personally think it's the cop, and I think he needs to step forward and do some apologizing too, because he's put these guys, not just my pop, there's a bunch of guys out here putting their lives away and keep away from their family for a paycheck, retirement. Okay, that's fine, but he'll live the rest of his life in vain. So I have no hatred towards anybody.